if everyone participates just at like 3%, their name's going into a hat. And they're going to get like a $500 gift card.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
We've talked about this stuff before.
And we have had a lot of our clients are like, yes, we freaking love this idea.
Guest, straight out of Texas, flew all the way here. Got delayed on a flight. I won't mention the name of the airlines, although it's a dangerous flight. Airlines to fly these days. But welcome to the show, Aaron Pottichen. I'm gonna call him.
Yes. Yes.
Very good. Very good.
I love it. I love it.
All right, show's done. Let's go.
Yes, this is it. That's nothing more you need.
Aaron, we are going to talk some 401k shop for sure.
Love it.
But like every episode, we have to start with the BOE, the beer of the episode. And we've got one for you here that is straight out of San Diego.
I love it.
We've got a chain of, I think, about five pizza places down here in San Diego called Pizza Port. Mm-hmm. But they also run like a legit brewery and distribute their beer through all the stores and everything.
Love it.
This is Amber Ale. Called Chronic Ale. It's an amber ale. The title of the beer is Chronic Ale. It is an amber ale.
You're in California.
I love
Why
it.
would they call it chronic?
We forgot to introduce our other guest.
Bella.
Yeah, we got a new one
Bells.
today.
This is not Retireholi. This is Bella. She's joining the show. She's a good girl. We are also going to have a word of the episode.
Congrats, boys.
Aaron, or I'll refer to you as Potts.
Wow, thanks.
That's good.
Cheers.
I'll take it.
Cheers.
I'll take it.
Cheers,
boys.
The word of the episode, boys, today will be advisor. And that can be in its singular or its plural form.
Right.
If you say that word that I just said, you will drink from this little mystery glass in front of you.
What's the word?
Advisor.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a drink.
started
Straight right off.
Oh, man.
Man.
Way to go, Potts.
I think I said that on,
You're welcome, AA Ron.
I said that on purpose, though.
Okay, Potts, take a sip of that and then tell me about your firm. Tell me about how you got into financial services. Tell me
Right.
about how you got into retirement plans. Give us a little bio.
So I actually started in financial services here in San Diego. I used to live here before I moved to Austin, Texas, and decided to evacuate California like everyone else that lives in Texas. And I worked in politics before that and decided I wanted to kind of maintain my soul. So I get out of politics. Yeah, right.
Good industry to go into, considered we're so...
Right.
Yeah,
yes,
I think that
exactly.
financial services is ranked below politicians.
Well, financial services, but really TPAs are at the top of the heap. Really, I mean, honestly.
I think it's a good thing. We need good people coming into financial services for the right
there you
reasons.
go. And so just decided I didn't want to spend my career in politics, even though I had a great time, had some really interesting experiences here in San Diego area, and decided that the whole goal of politics at the end of the day is say, hey, I'm going to take your life from here and move you one step forward, right? That's what every politician says. And I was like, well, what else? What other type of industry is like that? And that's kind of how I fell into this thing. So sounds idealistic, but that's how everything starts, right? And so started working at nights and weekends with a guy and kind of figured out more, and he was a great guy, but I figured out more what I didn't want to do.
Oh, okay.
And but one of those things, and then kind of
That's still
over time-
valuable.
It's still, at the end of the day, you got to know where those pitfalls are.
Thank you to that guy.
Yeah, thanks. And good guy though, really good guy. And so eventually fell into 401ks, and this is kind of like my niche and my thing. And I absolutely love it because whereas if you're an individual advisor, you only get to affect one-on-one.
Sorry, buddy.
There you go, man. There you go.
Sorry, buddy.
Mark, that was quick.
It's a rough game. It's a rough game.
It's a rough game.
You're a rookie. It's
I
okay.
am. I'll pick it up as we go. So anyways, nicely, if you're an individual advisor working with one-on-one people, you just get to work one-on-one, right? I'll get it back.
I didn't hear
tab.
that one.
Just keep a tab.
We keep tabs. We do.
So
put it on my tab.
if you're an FA and working one-on-one with people, you get to make an impact. But if you're an FA working on 401k plans, you get to have a much bigger impact on a lot more people. So, and there's a hell of a lot of plans out there that need saving, for the most part. So
Very cool.
That's kind of what did it.
The firm name is CLS.
CLS Partners. And we're a little bit unique in that we do employee benefits, risk, and then we've got my division that does 401k. And the other thing that makes it a little bit different, there's lots of other firms that do risk and benefits and retirement, but a lot of those things, it's kind of church and state between employee benefits and retirement. We kind of look at it as one religion.
Okay.
And so we work a lot with our clients where benefits team and myself will go out, meet with a client at the same time, talk about strategy at the same time. And it's amazing how foreign that is to the rest of the industry that does those things.
It's ideally how it should work. I mean, that's how you would hope it would work.
right?
But you're right. Personal side, wife, kids.
Beautiful wife, Tara. Hi, Tara.
Tara, I apologize
yes.
for the word of the episode. We'll keep him
my
safe
fault,
while
babe.
he's here.
Love you. Can't wait to get home because I know you want me to get home.
Never gonna watch.
So yeah, we actually met here at the San Diego State.
Okay, cool.
We met in college. We've got 3 kids who are hopefully.
Aztecs.
Very
That's
nice.
right.
Very nice.
You know,
Don't like 'em.
Yeah.
Go on.
Harvard of the West. And so we got 3 kids. You know, they used to have license plates that would say Harvard of the West, right? Which you can only get if you're like the top party school, right? And so we met here, and then after we got married, decided to move to Austin, Texas.
Very
And that
cool,
was it.
very
Yeah.
cool.
We spent
It's been great.
3 days at the FI 360 conference talking about how advisors needed to be.
Dang! Well, we'll do it together. We'll do
Yeah,
it together.
he owes one.
I'm taking
Come on.
JEs for now.
Let me just save on time. Go ahead.
Talking about how folks, FAs,
Yes.
need to get out more of their personal life into social. You do a great job at
Yeah.
that, and that was the position of that question: is to make sure that the world knows we are individuals, we have families, and
Yeah.
we want to take the financial services from here to here.
Right.
People need to know who we are as individuals and why we care so much.
Well, and more importantly than that, I think like if you're putting stuff on social media, like nobody's really interested in reading a market review report, right? Like how
Fair.
many people, like all of you guys.
I don't know. He might be.
He's
kind of a nerd.
right? So, anywho, right? And but nobody's interested in that. But you put a picture of your family or something like that, you know, it's
Who knows
it's a
you're
little bit
very
more
people.
interesting.
Can I,
It's
can I ask you this
human.
question though? Because I feel like we've discussed this a lot because we were talking about it at the conference a bunch. But you're on there, we see it, we like it, you're engaged, people are following you. But do you have a thought of like, okay, I can't do it too much, or how often, or what is your strategy there when it comes to your posts?
There's a limit probably, but the limit's probably more on like how much personal stuff you're going to put out there, right? So, yeah, you got to balance it, and then the other stuff is like you see these people on social media that are constantly putting posts out there just complaining. Like nobody likes a negative Nancy,
Stay
right?
positive, sure.
Yeah, and so I think it's just putting out stuff that's positive, relevant, informational, and entertaining at the end of
So
the
you
day.
don't worry about how many. It's just about this feels like something I should be sharing.
Yeah, 100%.
Did
Yeah.
you like jump into that right away, like a JD, or did it take you a while to grasp it and then finally get
I think it once I got rid of my broker dealer. Honestly, I mean,
Fair enough,
and
yeah.
so not
Makes
to go
it a
down
little
that
easier.
route. Once we got rid of our broker dealer and the cuffs are off a little bit more, it's a lot easier to kind of open up into that environment. So broker dealers are great, but man, just
All right, here's my concept. This is a little. I hope I don't freak you out. Okay. We're TPAs. You're an advisor. Successful.
He needs a gun.
You're gonna have to help me out.
Yeah.
That's okay.
yeah,
Thank
get
you.
on that.
All right. Let's imagine, if you will, because we're very interested what's in your brain.
Right.
As a
this is going to be scary.
focus on
We
retirement.
really
plans.
need to edit
so
this.
let's imagine that we kidnapped you. We
Right.
threw you in the trunk of the car, drove you away,
Which
took
we
you.
did. That's how we got him here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what?
what?
Help.
Took you down to the basement.
Right.
Duct taped you to a chair,
Yeah, it sounds like-
inserted truth serum into your arm,
Right.
and now we're going to ask you some questions that
Right.
we want to know, and
Right.
you're going to give us the real deal.
All right.
And we're gonna keep it around retirement business.
Okay.
Right.
Sounds like an episode of Billions for
So
a
here we
second.
go. So each of us is going to kind of take our turn and ask you some questions.
Right.
Okay?
All right. Let's
First
go.
one I want to ask you is suit and tie all the time?
So, funny question. We just hired a new guy, Jonathan, who's super smart. Love having him part of the team, and he's from New York City. And he's used to dressing up New York City style, suit and tie every day. And literally, the guy doesn't even own a pair of jeans. So, Jonathan, sorry to call you out on that tape, but I wear jeans literally probably 80 to 90% of the time.
wow.
with
Dude, go
my
buy a
clients.
pair of jeans.
Yeah.
So,
you hear
but
that?
the other thing is like we're in Austin, Texas, right? So we have tech companies. I've literally had clients say, "Can you not wear slacks to the meeting?" Because it not that it's intimidating, but people are not as likely to want to talk to you.
Yeah.
So I wear jeans 80% of the time, probably.
This is good.
And I don't think I've worn a tie Once in the past 2 years, probably.
Wow.
So you're
For a client
rubbing, you might rub off on my guys here.
Right.
Because we have this debate a lot. And these
I'm
guys
trying to
wear,
get you to rub off on me.
these
Right.
guys
Those
wear,
guys are
suit,
fine
these
with
guys
it.
wear
Yeah.
suits
Nerdy
and
Chad's
ties.
a little different.
I know
Yeah.
we don't look like it, but these guys wear suits and ties every day. And I think
Yeah.
they could get a little more hip, a little more Austin,
You're in
Texas.
California,
So here's
bro.
the issue.
No,
If I'm being
right,
honest,
ties.
the issue is we go into meetings with FAs. And there's an expectation that we're going to be dressed a certain way.
Right.
It's their client, not ours.
Right.
And so we have to be a little more reserved in how out there we're going to be with it. I would love to be in jeans every day, but there are some advisors in certain BDs, you drop
Right.
through BD, that
Yeah.
that would be frowned
There's what in
upon.
certain BDs?
Dang, I did slip
Nice.
up there.
All right.
Yeah.
There
I
are
think you did.
certain
But
areas.
I think it's
though.
relative to location. 'Cause
100%,
down here,
100%.
I don't run into that ever.
Yeah.
Not ever. About 95% of the time.
Well,
no
you don't
tie.
ever go to meetings. You just right.
Yeah.
Efficiency.
And he's completely silent when he's on the phone.
All right, but I like that. It's not what I
Yeah.
expected to hear from you.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate
And I'm
that.
trying
I
to
have
up
a
my
question.
sock game here too.
Yeah, you're
always good.
fitting in, although.
Yeah, these-
I usually have
can't
sock
afford
game
to
going
use
on.
That would be
socks,
awesome
so-
if you were wearing socks with those. That would be pretty funny.
I wouldn't put it past
That would be awesome.
Mark's
You
not-
mentioned that you have
We're in
benefit
San
side,
Diego,
you have
man.
401k side.
Right.
I obviously follow you. I love
Yeah.
reading some of your stuff. You talk
Right.
about wealth and health. My question for you would be twofold. Number one, I've been waiting years to see an advisor who quantifies for their client kind of a total compensation package.
Yeah, we
I
do
always
that.
feel like, okay.
We do that.
So expand on that.
All
and
right,
I'll
so
go
we
to my
do.
second.
We did this for a client that was it was a private equity backed client. So companies that are owned by private equity are pretty much interested in getting as much EBITDA as possible, right? And so we had gone in, done a lot of stuff on their employee benefits program, kind of stripped some cost out without really increasing the cost for the employees. Move them to a new record keeper, reduce the cost of the 401k, so kind of reduce the tax rate on the employee, let's call it that. And we had shown, and then this company was pretty benevolent. They had a safe harbor match, so if you put in 5, you're getting 4. They were fully funding the health savings account in January, so getting either $1,000 or $2,000, which
Yeah,
is
at the
really rich
beginning of the
benefit
year,
in January, which is very unusual. And so what we did is we showed these employees and we broke it out. We said, look, if you make $57,000 and you live in Mississippi, which is where half the company was based, and if you put 5% in your 401k and you defer $1,000 into your HSA, your taxable comp, it went from 57 to let's say it was 52, right? So this is what you need to live off of. And then if you add back in your deferral, plus the deferral in the 401k and the HSA, plus the match on the HSA and the 401k, your actual total comp is 59,000. It's that's pretty badass.
I feel like you,
right?
I feel like you and Aaron could be like long lost brothers.
I know. You're speaking my language right
but
now.
but it's great, and the employee population was really kind of, they were braced. The HR team was really kind of braced for a little bit of backlash because there was some changes to the
Right,
plans
sure.
or what have you.
Anytime there is.
And a lot of the employees afterwards holy cow, this is pretty awesome, And so we've continued to do that as much as we can. A lot
Very
of
good,
cross pollination with the
That's
benefits
awesome.
team. Yeah,
I've
it
been
worked out well.
waiting to hear and see something like that.
But it doesn't. I think a lot of advisors don't work close enough with their benefits team, or the benefits team that's outside of them. And then number one, the benefits just don't care and want to communicate with the FAs.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and that's why I think it's awesome that you guys are on both the benefits and the wealth side. The second part of that question would be gamification. Have you adopted any of that when working with these participants?
I'm glad you brought that up. So we just kind of rolled out a new financial wellness platform. I won't say who it is unless they start to comp me for that. And so
No free ads here.
You know who you are. And
Unless you're at
so
5360,
Yeah.
they could give us a little.
and so but that financial wellness platform has got some gamification built into it.
Right.
So we're going to do that. The other thing that we've kind of socialized with a lot of our clients was, hey, let's run a contest where let's say it's the third quarter, if everyone participates just at 3%, their name's going into a hat. And they're going to get a $500 gift card.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
We've talked about this stuff before.
And
We
we have
have.
had a lot of our clients are yes, we freaking love this idea, and we're just waiting as a good time to kind of implement it, right? And so it's either that or it's hey, we'll give you everyone's name's going to go into a hat if you go complete your beneficiary forms, which nobody does.
There's another.
Right?
I've never heard something like that either.
But that's it's super easy stuff. It's we'll even pay for the $500 gift card, right?
Sure.
It's it's not a big deal. But it's hey, people will crazy enough, they'll go after the craziest things, right? You know, if you put
Behavioral finance
$500,
has shown that, like, proven
100%, yeah. And there was this whole thing that was done by Walmart that we kind of stole this idea from, and it was awesome. So that we're just
We're gonna have to this guy back again.
Yeah.
Well,
another
you know,
time.
I'm chewing
Put on
this
quick.
up.
This is great because we've talked about that a lot on the show and trying to find ways to be creative and
Yeah.
get involved. And there you are, you're doing it.
Yeah.
It's real. You're not just talking about it.
Right.
And you're telling us and you're telling our audience that it's working.
Yeah.
And so that's really,
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
Based on your response, assuming you're in the basement right now tied up, you'd be a horrible POW, man.
Yeah, I know.
Let it
Just
all out.
get it out, right?
But by the way, it could all be
Yeah.
made up. I mean,
Yeah, that's the thing. Who knows? I could be giving you the wrong
I was
coordinates.
gonna say
right?
it's
Yeah.
failing drastically. And
Little
he's like,
do we
it's
know.
great. Spread money doing it.
Right.
Little do we know the cops are on
These
the
are
way
all
right
things.
now. We're all going to jail.
Yeah.
All right, so your guys' turn over there. He's got truth serum in him. What do you wanna shoot at him here?
What you got right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
It's not silent
just
just
real
in
quick,
time.
only because I was looking at some of your LinkedIn stuff, and I'm a old HR nerd in my previous life, and
Yeah.
real quick, so the audience knows, I'm not just the guy who sits on the couch and makes jokes. I actually was a part of a team that went and traveled and did what we called HR games.
Oh,
it was
gosh,
HR related
games.
Jeopardy questions. I was a part of a
I like
very
it.
competitive, good winning team, by the way.
You're not
led by
claiming
me.
right now.
No, I'm
People are
going sinking my
"Geez,
ship as we go.
Dirty
Yeah.
chat.
So I'm
dirty
seeing
Mark."
these disrupt HRs. I see the selfies going on.
Yeah.
I guess my question is pretty general, so I don't have time for it. But give the audience a little bit of an idea of what that is and how you're involved and how that's impacting your business.
Disrupt HR?
Yeah.
Disrupt HR is kind of this movement that was started by a woman, I think 3 years ago or so. And the whole point of Disrupt HR is to take a normal HR conference that would be a full day, and a lot of people would probably be falling asleep on the second half of it.
terrible, yeah.
Yeah, and they could be better, right? And so, and we're going to condense all of that content into little appetizers of information. And then we're going to, and they're super tasty. And then we're going to provide those to people in a fun environment, right? So we've
So
done.
you're a speaker at these.
I was the MC. Yeah, I did speak at one time, and it was
You
super
need
hard.
to also get involved in that.
Yeah. So the format of this thing is you have 5 minutes, and your slides move every 15 seconds.
Oh, so there's rules to
It
it.
was
nice.
super. When I did it, it was the hardest speaking engagement I've ever done.
he
Right?
couldn't do it.
Yeah.
He couldn't do it.
Yeah. It's really hard.
15 slides ago. Let's go.
Yeah. It's really hard. Yeah. And so, but because you have to be just brevity all the way.
Yeah.
Right. And so most people, when you get up to talk, like you've got like 30 minutes or something like that, you can kind of go on these tangents and then get back to your point. There's no room for tangents. So it's interesting to see this, we just got done with one this past Tuesday in Dallas at the Improv. So we did it at a comedy place.
No way.
It was really cool. Well, it's even cool because you're on the stage. I'm like, this is where Adam Carolla was, right? It was awesome, right? So it's pretty cool. So there's a fun event.
Did any of your jokes just fail like mine do?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of like derailing,
I've been feeling
Yeah.
bored.
I think it's time that we move on to the new game.
Okay.
We've
All
got to throw it in. We'll get back to questions.
questions.
We gotta get the game.
Where's the? Do we have the pieces for the?
I have our piece.
I got our.
Okay.
Okay.
So are we're
I'm kind
swapping
of.
part, or we're.
Do you mind putting this down over
Yeah,
there?
we're swapping.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so here's the game. There is a word
Don't
on
look
each
yet.
of these pieces.
And I
of
have to
paper.
guess what the word is.
You have to guess what the word is.
And you're going to describe what the word is.
Excuse me. We're going
All
to
right.
give you single word hints.
Okay.
And you have to come up with as quickly as you can the word that is on the piece of paper.
And we provided them theirs, and
You
they
would do
provided
rock,
ours.
paper,
Got it.
scissors, because you know I lose every time. 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Nice.
Okay. So you're
Okay,
gonna go first.
We're not going to look. You're going to go first.
Oh,
so
we'll go
they're
first.
hitting.
Go. All right. So I have to guess the words, and these are all 401k
Yes.
related.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
Got
right.
it.
So-
Retirement related.
So we got a timer.
Hey, block
Just
the
do
back.
how many-
Don't be
how many
cheating.
I'm not
words?
cheating.
Block that back.
One word at a time. How many words? It'll work.
Yeah. So
I don't need
hold
to
on.
cheat.
You don't need a timer.
You get 6
We don't need a
words to try
timer.
to get him to say it.
No.
3 each.
Oh,
6
6
words to
words?
try to say
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
You each get 3 hints.
Son of a.
Son of a bitch. Do I have to guess that? Is that
Yeah.
is that your word?
That's
JD.
3 words.
Yeah.
That's 3 words.
Okay.
Number.
Number?
Yes.
401k. No?
Now Justin.
321.
Goes. Justin gives you.
Yeah, they'll keep giving
You can
hints.
keep guessing.
Okay.
Get
Okay.
6 hints.
338. 316.
Built in. Oh shit! I said
One word.
One word. Fuck. Built.
Number and built.
One word. I'm gonna say core.
Core?
Wrap.
Fee. Wrap fee. Wrap fee.
say
Investment
that word now.
managed account.
Okay, we say fee. So
Okay.
it's a. Oh shit.
One word. Go.
Lord.
Oh, additional fee. There you go.
Revenue share.
You're on the right path.
Okay, 12B1.
Thank you.
Man, that was 2 words, you cheaters.
You said
by
we
the
could
way.
say it.
Yeah, but you can't use 2 words.
Do a Hanson loophole comes
We'll
out.
take it. How many did it take them?
5.
5.
We'll give you
He went
5.
first, second,
All right,
third,
We'll
fourth.
give you 5. We'll give you 5.
Okay, ready?
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna nail this.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll go first.
I thought this was
Savings.
time. I thought this
Retirement.
was time.
Deferral. Rates.
Post.
Hold on.
Roth.
Yeah!
Dang, your
Boom!
is on there.
I thought they did after and
all right,
post.
okay.
All I saw was after.
Congratulations.
Dang, all I saw was after.
Congratulations.
Hey, P.S. You guys suck.
Wow.
Say, I would argue that we both
All right,
cheated
I'm
right
done.
there.
By the way, I did put on their card. I gave them their 5 words I can't say, and next to it I said, "You guys suck."
Yeah.
We're drinking this whole thing.
Yeah, that's the rule.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
Retireholiks. See that?
I love that.
Pretty sweet.
I love that. You know you've made it when you've got your name on booze that you've relabeled.
Yeah, until
That's a mark of
Sues us.
success when you've
That was
decided
fun.
to
That was a lot
bogart
of
somebody
fun.
else's
I
one of my
alcohol.
funnest games.
I just want to say for the record that I didn't really lose that game.
I did.
Right.
Fair enough.
You did.
Well,
I
you, know,
said
you could say
post.
it was a
Good game.
learning opportunity,
Thanks,
not a
yes,
loss,
yes.
right?
Well done, by the
Yes.
way. Well done, Aaron.
Yes.
Justin, a little question from over on that side for our guests. He's strapped to the chair with duct tape. The true sermon is in. Ask him a question. Yeah.
So I guess my question was centered around like, you do a ton sounds
Yeah.
like, for your clients, participants, whatnot. You have to create some back end efficiencies. I would
Right.
imagine. So a lot of the things that we like to do is talking to FAs is
Right.
you see a lot of them work with 15, 20 different
Right.
RKs out there
Right.
where we've been trying to help them. Help them
Well, shoot. Sorry.
kind of condense
Yeah.
who they're working with to three to
Right.
5 main arcades.
Right.
Do you do that, or what's your
So
approach?
at one point we had like 11 different record keepers we were working with, and I think we're closer now to like 5.
Okay.
And we're tending to kind of focus on just a handful of record keepers that we're working with right now.
Right.
And for us, our big thing is finding the friction for a client and then just reducing it.
Okay.
And so for us, we're only interested in working with record keepers that can reduce that friction. And there's common points of friction for clients. So it's like the payroll remittance part, the service from the record keeper side, and dealing with competent service people, and then people that will actually respond in a timely manner, right? So we're interested in working with record keepers that can meet solution for those friction points as much as possible. And then honestly also have like some kind of integration with like a health savings account or something. Like that's becoming really big for us, obviously. And it's surprising to me how many of them don't view that as like important or look at it at all, right? They will, but it's crazy how many record keepers are out there today that deal in employee benefits, whether they're selling disability insurance or life insurance, what have you, that don't have any automatic integration today with a health savings account.
Yeah.
So the truth of serum is in deep. Because I think there's many out there that would like to know the true answer for someone as successful as you in this marketplace. When you step into a meeting, is your true effort broker of record, or are you looking and saying, I know what's right for the client and I'm going to move this plan to a provider that creates less
One of those
friction?
partners.
Yeah, so we have our whole sales process when we're working with a prospective client is we tell them, look, here's where you're at today and here's where you could be tomorrow, and part of getting there tomorrow is leaving where you're at today. So hey,
You're committed to that strategy.
Yeah, and there's some record keepers where we know that this is, you've told us this is where you want to go. That record keeper's not going to get you there. It's just not, right? And so it's like, look, you're going to have to leave that guy at the train station and you're going to have to move to this new guy. Right?
The difference for me in hearing you say that, and I love that answer, is that so many folks out there are worried about winning the plan that they don't bother to take that firm step and be like, look, I know what's right for you.
Yeah.
I know what's right for you. I
That's
know
what-
what RK you need.
That's
I
what I
know-
heard from him.
That's
Yeah.
what I heard. And I love that. And I think that for those listening, that's what takes you from 10 plans to 20 to 30s. When you're
Right.
willing to believe in what you're doing
That's
so
what it
much,
is.
you're
That's
like, hey,
credibility because
well,
he's not
yeah.
just after the sale, winning the business, getting paid. He wants to do the right thing and make a difference.
Right.
And I think in
love
the
that.
end, you actually end up being more successful in sales that way anyway.
Well, and it's about like, what's the solution? Like the client is hiring you, the FA, for, see, I got that. Yeah.
He's good at
to
that,
help
yeah.
them figure out a solution, right? And most FAs are only focused on what they really know. So I'm going to fix your investment menu, or I'm going to do the IPS. But that's the stuff that's like way down here that we're conditioned because that's what 90% of these conferences are about. But it's not the stuff that the clients actually deal with, right? On a day-to-day basis, they're dealing with like the payroll remittance. They're dealing with the fact that their payroll and HRS system isn't connected to the record keeper, and that's a pain in the butt, right? So it's like, all right, well, that's a main, like, really pain in the ass thing for you, the client. We should try and remedy that. Maybe you should have a 360 integration, right? Maybe you should work with a payroll provider that actually does that. We have a brand new client that we just got where they're like, look, this is a huge pain in the butt. We've got to download this report, go on to the website, input it here, and then da-da-da-da-da. We're like, well, how about if it was just like you push payroll and it was done? Like, oh yeah, that would probably be better.
Yeah,
Sounds
that's
like,
terrible.
yeah.
We got to get to close to the end here, but I basically have two questions for you.
I have one thing to say.
Shoot.
Advisor.
Yep.
You need to try it. It's good.
Yeah, it is.
I like it.
You know what? Did we tell him what that was?
No.
I don't want to
He
know.
has no idea.
I don't want to know. Yeah. I would have asked, but I don't want to know.
Are you using some type of system to deal with all these clients in Omnibus, like to review the funds, remove
Yeah,
and
so
replace
we're
funds,
using
score
a system today that kind of aggregates all of the plans together. Our new guy is kind of doing all the investment management review and everything like
You have a
that.
guy internally that does all that for you.
Yeah, so internally he's doing all that for us.
And
yeah.
preps you on some system for your fiduciary review meetings
Yep,
and all that.
yep,
and all that
does
type of
all that.
stuff.
Scalable.
Yeah.
Second question for you, or I actually have three. I lied
Yeah.
to you. I apologize.
Yeah.
Second question is: there's a artificial wave in Texas.
Yeah.
I think close to Austin.
It is.
Have you been there?
It's the only
Have you seen
place
that?
in America that has an artificial wave.
Well,
it's awesome.
Not
Kelly
anymore.
Slater's got one in California.
Yeah,
right now,
but it's like it's in the middle of nowhere,
yours is
right?
yours is the only one open to the public.
Yours is in Texas.
It's in Austin, Texas. It's awesome.
How far
It's in-
from your house?
From my house, it's probably 35 minutes with
Be
traffic.
careful because
Yeah.
he's going to be.
No,
But
sitting
it's
on
right
your
by the
couch.
airport.
I would like to continue this conversation at your house.
On a wave.
I'll
Yeah.
be coming.
Do it.
I'll
Let's
stay
do
the
it.
night, maybe 2 nights,
Yeah.
3 days.
That's
I'll
awesome.
get my tickets to surf there. Very
Let's
good.
do
very
it.
good, very
Yeah,
good.
it's a legit waves. Too,
Okay,
that's all I'm saying.
True Serum's in.
Yeah.
I'm asking you a question.
Yeah.
A, B, or C?
Kind of the obvious
TPAs.
thing we're doing
Yeah.
right now.
Sorry. It's
Yeah.
for you, Mark.
Yeah.
TPAs
Right.
are good for complicated plans,
Right.
easy plans,
Right.
or all of the above.
I think all of the above. But I'm not saying that
is
because
that
I'm
really what
Yeah,
this is?
True Serve is in.
No, I'll give you an example.
Okay.
So we have got, honestly, so we've had plans where they had a TPA and they were on a platform that required them to use a TPA.
Hancock.
But, I don't want to say, yeah. And,
That's pretty
yeah.
clear.
But I knew that platform wasn't right for them. So we had to move them away from a TPA record keeper relationship, right? We have other plans where I know that they need the TPA badly, because they would not be able to run this plan correctly if they did not have a TPA. Because the amount of effort that this client needs to make sure that they stay on the right course for the 316 services and the TPA services that they're providing, they're going to go off the tracks.
So you're an advocate of that.
I'm an advocate of the best solution possible for
Fair,
the client.
because not
right?
every solution needs a TPA. I think
agree.
we can all say that.
They
can
don't,
agree.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
agree.
but if your answer was yes, then that would mean that you're not actually adding any value anywhere.
Well, that's
right?
the benefit of being a consultant, right? Your
Right.
job is to do what's right for the client. And
Right.
there are times where we as consultants talk with advisors, we're like, truthfully, I think you're better off writing this in a bundled strategy.
Aaron,
We'll be
Aaron
honest.
seems to have a good perspective on it
Right.
through his experience, but I think the common thought is, well, okay, a TPA is great when things get really complicated from a design perspective, so they
Right.
can minimize problems, errors, et cetera.
Right.
But what they don't understand, and we have inside knowledge to see this, is the very simple plans
Right.
also run into problems.
Oh my God, yeah.
And you're talking about dealing with data, and is the data accurate? Is the counseling accurate?
Yeah.
Is the design right? And so we see this with a safe harbor match can be screwed up
Yep.
if the client's not doing it properly. So I appreciate you
Ounce
saying
prevention,
And-
worth
Yep.
a pound of cure.
Yeah, and I think also we've got a lot of, Austin's a plethora of startup companies, what have you, that are there. And a lot of these companies that we'll deal with that are like doing startup plans, we know that they're going to benefit from having a TPA because, God bless the people that are there, but they're doing 9 million jobs, right? And they don't have time to actually sit down and know everything that they're supposed to do on running this plan right. But if they get a TPA, that's probably going to be somebody that's going to be like, knock them on the door, be like, hey, look, by the way, you're supposed to do it this way.
Yeah.
And that's how you
I'd
do it.
love to hear that. Okay. This is what I want to say to you, Mr. Pottichen. We just came back from this
Yes.
conference.
Yeah.
And they told us that financial advisors, financial
Oh.
services ranks very, very low
It was all financial services. Let's be clear with that.
in terms of the general public's trust and acceptance and,
Right.
liking of that. We rank below used car salesmen, okay? And insurance salesmen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and at this
Yeah.
conference, I talked with people about that we need to raise our
Right.
brand because I don't see that in the real world.
That is not at all what I see.
see
Yeah.
people that actually care about what they do, that are passionate about what they do, and I
Right.
just want to say
Yeah.
thank you to you because
Right. Yep.
you
right
are
here.
proving my point.
Right.
You are a perfect example of someone who loves what they do, is passionate about it, knows everything about it.
Right.
Brings your education up so
Right,
you
yeah.
can help, cares about their clients. This to me
Yeah.
is the retirement plan advisor.
This is what everybody
and this
needs
is
to
what
realize.
everyone
Right.
needs to see out there. Because Mark, he's one hell of an advisor
Yeah, I'm
and
gonna drink to
representative.
Advisor.
I like that. I'm just going to drink to that because I
So
like
take
that.
notes.
Yeah, cheers. That.
Take notes.
Thank you guys.
We need more of this.
And thanks for the
You need to
honesty.
bring that up.
so that people can see and realize.
We are
Indeed.
Retireholiks
Catch
with
up,
our
catch
guests
up.
from
Thanks, guys.
Texas, changing the retirement plan industry
Hey,
one
hey,
year
Ron.
at a time.
Hey, hey, Ron.
And whatever these suckers are.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
for tuning in.
Appreciate you.
Man.
Well done, dude.
I wish we weren't that